ever finished an incredible book and thought, why have I never heard of this author before?
Well, it happens more than people realise, I think. There are truly brilliant books out there that never make it into the spotlight. Not because they aren't good, but because visibility in today's book world is tough.
That's what today's video is all about. We're shining a light on some of those hidden literary gems that deserve to be seen.
And every single one we'll talk about today comes from authors that we've had the privilege of working with at Alkira Publishing.
If you're new here, I'm Rose, Alkira's book designer.
And I'm Tahlia, the managing editor. Together we run Alkira Publishing, where we help authors to bring their stories to life through editing, book design and hybrid publishing.
And one of the things that sets Alkira apart is that we only publish books we truly believe in.
Yes, our focus is always on quality. A book has to have a strong structure, well-developed characters, believable dialogue, and prose that's both engaging and emotionally resonant. But beyond the technical craft, it has to touch the heart. That's what makes something into an Alkira book.
Let's start with the remaking of Professor Bobbins by Cedric Saldanha. I love the warmth of this cover. It feels hopeful, but with some mystery behind it. We needed a balance of a bit of both.
Yeah.
What made you say yes to this book?
The book really surprised me. It explores modern family dynamics, domestic abuse and how the court system works to protect or not protect women. And it's all seen through the eyes of an elderly man who ends up being unexpectedly heroic. It's heartwarming, it's meaningful, and it's deeply human. Yeah, and it's surprising. Like, I just didn't expect it to go where it went. And when it developed into this book that was much more than I expected from, you know, the sort of heartwarming contemporary fiction novel, I was just really impressed. I just went, this is just brilliant. It's a brilliant book, yeah.
So it's not just that it's about the events of the story, it's about this transformation of Professor Bobbins.
Yes, exactly. It's about growth and courage later in life. And when I finished reading, I remember thinking, this is exactly the kind of book that Alkira Publishing was made for.
So this next book, Shadows Beneath the Surface, is a psychological thriller. So I knew the cover had to be a little bit dark and thrilling sort of vibe with this bolder font. And beneath the surface, obviously the water down here. This is the Sydney War Memorial?
Yeah, I mean, I really love the way this is sort of like the water, which is in front of the war memorial.
Yeah, so I put a text effect on there to make it,
which,
because
if you're
beneath the surface.
Yeah, if you're not in Australia, you wouldn't know necessarily that specific,
yeah.
But you've still got this sort of tension between what's kind of real up here and what's more unreal down here.
Hidden.
Clever cover, I think.
So, yes, and you'll find out why all of those choices were made on the cover when you read the book. But what is this book about?
Essentially, what do you do when your boss asks you to do something unethical? It explores the personal cost of that choice.
That's a powerful theme.
It is, and there's one scene I'll never forget. It's in a tunnel beneath the War Memorial where a dwarf psychologist performs a sort of a witchy kind of ritual. Very strange and surreal.
I thought it was a thriller, not a fantasy.
No, he writes, no, it's very real, but it's just this bizarre character.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's what I love, because it goes somewhere unexpected. But it's also, you know, some Australian books and movies have this kind of
quirk.
Yeah, has particularly in their secondary characters.
Yeah, we love a bit of quirk,
a bit of strangeness in their secondary characters, and that's definitely.
What was the dwarf do? What
the psychologist that he sent to his work sends him to. This is the work psychologist, and she is very strange.
That's always good.
Very strange.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, and I won't say more about it because it'll just blow the...
Well, if you're interested in this book, you can pick it up.
It's definitely unusual. Yeah.
Links in our website.
Next up, A Billion Blue Wildebeest by MacLaine. And just the title alone makes you curious. Tell us about the cover. What are all of these different things and what's their meaning?
Well, this was a wonderful task to design the cover for this memoir because the author has had all of these photos of African animals, and she's also drawn a bunch of wildebeest, which we've got included here. And obviously the main character in this book is a cat named Stanley, who's got a little chunk off of his ear. It was a lovely challenge to take all of these images and textures, and there's a handwritten letter from when the author was a child that's used as the background. So I love being able to take the materials that are personal to the author and then putting those together into something that creates still a striking cover that will, catch readers' attention in the online marketplace. So it's always a fun one. And obviously the author can see all of her original artworks and photos in there, so it's really special for the author as well to have this.
Yeah, and I think the way you put those photos inside the shape of the cat was really clever, and these little drawings just sort of around here.
Best way to bring it all together.
Yeah, and it really does have the feeling of the book.
And there's also a few inside as well, photos and some extra pictures.
Yeah.
He's a good artist.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book, yeah. And there's Stanley. He's a beautiful cat.
Sweet boy.
So this is a memoir, but it's one that goes far beyond personal storytelling because it's about the author's extraordinary devotion to a disabled cat. And through that, it becomes a reflection on compassion and animal welfare.
So it's a book that makes you feel, but also think.
Exactly. The author's voice is warm, sincere, and charmingly quirky. And I'll never forget the opening scene. It's so astonishing. The readers really should experience it for themselves. So let's just say, I think you'll probably be hooked from the first page.
So this book is probably a bit close to home for both of us, but this wasn't the plan. A very relatable phrase to how life goes. Grieving the golden years that never came. Yes. What's this one about?
Well, it's a memoir of a mother whose adult children are still living at home long after she expected to have an empty nest. It's funny, it's honest, and it is deeply relatable for any parent with adult children, particularly mothers.
I think a lot of parents will feel seen by this one.
Yeah.
And I know when I was formatting this book, I did accidentally start reading it a few times, and there were some things that I was like, oh, I've done that to my mum. We don't live in the same house, but we live fairly close to each other. So it's very real, this one.
Yeah. And beneath the humour, it's about personal growth. The author learning to let go of what she imagined her life would be and finding peace and joy in what actually is.
And it's got some beautiful illustrations in there, which are done by an Australian artist.
Yeah, when I saw the manuscript first, I said to the author, have you thought about having some quirky little illustrations added to it? Because it's a small book and it's designed to sort of lighten the hearts of people in that situation and to be really readable. And so I just went, I think it's got to have illustrations. And the author said, yeah, let's have some illustrations. So she found an artist and we have these beautiful little illustrations.
I like this one. It's a ship full of laundry.
A ship full of laundry.
It's just so much of it.
Yeah.
Was there a moment in this book that particularly resonated with you?
Yes, when she sits in her favourite chair trying to have a quiet moment. I think she was even in a special room she'd made, a peaceful room. And her daughter just plonks herself on the arm of the chair and shares her emotional woes. It's very real because you never stop being a mother, no matter how old your kids are.
And I have definitely done that to you.
You've definitely done that to me. But, you're a mother, so your child comes first. Regardless of how old they are, you just automatically give them the attention that they need at that moment. And they don't think about the fact that you were trying to have a bit of peace. They're just full of their own issues and you're number one emotional support. So,
Yep.
So was there anything that you caught sight of while you were formatting it?
Yeah, it was almost like seeing into my potential future because this author's, her parents, she's raising her own kids and got adult kids in her house, but her parents are also living in the granny flat out the back. And so she's basically, that's why there's a sandwich on the front cover, because she's sandwiched between the generations. And so, potentially one day I might have a child of my own and my aging parents will be on a different, in the granny flat out the back. The main house. But anyway.
What granny flat?
So there was a bit of a sobering look into my potential future juggling there, but yeah.
Yeah,
So.
it's a very readable book. It'd make a great Christmas present, I think. And it's short because we know.
But it does end on a positive note, as you can tell by this illustration. So
yes, the whole format of the book makes it something that is very easy for someone who's very busy to read. Just pick up
short chunks.
Yeah, pick up and just read a bit and have a bit of a It helps you look at your life through a humorous lens. Yeah.
Then we have The Nameless Land by M. Laszlo. This is one of our more unusual titles, and the cover has almost a mystical, dreamlike quality to sort of reflect that. There's lots of space and stars.
Very definitely gives the feel of the book. Definitely that surreal quality.
It's very surreal. And this is the second in the series, and the first one was also very surreal.
Yeah, I love both of these covers. They definitely reflect the dreamlike stream of consciousness style of the writing. It's really full of archetypal symbols and shifting realities. It blurs the line between fantasy and reality.
So yes, it is a historical novel, but it's not your average historical novel.
No, it's deeper in a very metaphysical way. But you're drawn into the minds of the characters and you're never quite sure what's real and what isn't. And the scene that stayed with me is actually the one on the cover, where they uncover this pyramid from the sand. And the symbolism is like, I'd have to go and look it up to get the full symbolism, but the imagery itself is very powerful.
Powerful visuals.
Yeah.
Love a book with powerful visuals for my brain cinema.
Yes.
Our last featured book, which we haven't actually got the print copy for yet, is The Eternal Tide by Cameron O'Brien. And this one I'm very excited about because it launches a fantasy series.
Yes, and I love the cover, Rose. You've done a stellar job on that one.
I'm just really excited to do a fantasy cover because we don't do so many of them as I would like to. So
yeah, and we would really like to have more fantasy books. So if you're a fantasy author, please consider submitting to us. You've got the symbolism there, and the characters, and I think it's a stunning cover, and once you read the book, you'll understand the sort of meaning of the cover and how it relates. This is a beautifully written story about human society's repeating destructive patterns and the urgent need to wake up and change. It's about oppression, rebellion, and resilience, all the things that give fantasy real meaning. I was just so impressed when I got this manuscript.
And the heroine, Dior, is kick-ass. She's incredible.
Yeah, she's very strong, loyal, full of integrity. The opening scene where she's out hunting food captures her character perfectly. She's determined and resourceful. And the cover image of her in that moment is spot on.
And this one will be out before Christmas. So if you love fantasy and you're in the mood for a Christmas read, check it out. So hearing you talk about all these stories that we have published, there's a clear thread there. There's courage, compassion, and transformation stories all in what we look for, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. These books remind us that great writing isn't just about plot. It's about feeling something real. And every one of these authors, and in fact, all the authors that we work with, they work closely with us to make their stories really shine. And I'm proud of what our authors have achieved. And All our books deserve to be read much more widely, simply because they truly are gems.
If you love discovering meaningful books, the kind that deserve a wider audience, please share this video with a friend who loves to read. And if you have any other recommendations of little known gems, please drop them in the comments, because we also just love reading them and we don't just read what we publish.
And also visit alkirapublishing.com to explore all our titles. Every book we publish is carefully chosen for its quality, depth and heart. So whatever you pick up, you know it's going to be worth your time.
Don't forget to like, subscribe and check out our playlist for more insights into writing, publishing and books that matter.
And thank you for supporting small publishers like Alkira, where hidden literary gems get the chance to shine.
Shine!